Step one, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step two, get some good, some food in you. Step three, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step four, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Good morning, and welcome to Good Morning Crypto, where we turn your early hours in the morning into your edge in financial freedom. Today, I've got one headline. It touches on someone that wants to copy the Michael Saylor strategy of buying Bitcoin, leveraging their Bitcoin, and using that to buy more Bitcoin. So we will dive into that article after we get you prepped for some success today. I've got that stock heat map pulled up like always, and we're seeing a little bit of some sell-off in the pre-market right now. We are looking pretty green from yesterday's close. We've got Apple up 2.43%, almost down 8% in the pre-market right now, sitting down 0.98. We've got Nvidia sitting up 3.86, looking down in the pre-market 1.14. We've got Berkshire Hathaway up 1.16, sitting down 0.21 in the pre-market. We've got Amazon sitting up 4.28%, looking down 0.71 in the pre-market. We've got Eli Lilly up 0.21, sitting down 0.34 for the morning so far. We've got ExxonMobil down 0.86 and seeing some continued sell-off this morning, down 0.24. We've got Tesla up a whopping 5.37%, looking down in the pre-market 1.32. We've got P&G down 1.28, looking down in the pre-market as well, down 0.62. We've got Microsoft sitting up 2.06, and in the pre-market sitting in that neutral range, some light sell-off, down 0.04. We've got Google sitting up 2.48 from its close, down 0.63 so far in the morning. We've also got Meta up 4% off of its close, down 0.73 in the pre-market. Let's hop over to the crypto side of things. Sorry for that quick blinding light. We've got quite a bit of red here on the daily. We've got Bitcoin down 1.8, Ethereum down 2.9, XRP down 5.9. We've got BNB down 2.5, Solana down 3.5, Dogecoin down 5.6. We've got Cardano down 3.7. We've got Tron down 1.2. SWI is in the green, up 2.1 right now. We've got Chainlink down 3.3. Avalanche down 4.6. Leo token also sitting in the green, up 1.5%. We've got Stellar Lumens down 4.2. TON down 0.4%. We've got Shiba Inu down 5.3, HBAR down 5.4, Bitcoin Cash down 0.2%, and Litecoin taking back that top 20 spot, down 3.7. For that fear and greed today, we are out of extreme fear for the stock market, back to just the fear side of things, and up a point off of some decent TradFi news, like no Jerome Powell being fired, and those Chinese tariffs are just gonna stay where they are. So people priced a lot of that in, and we saw that move to the upside yesterday. We are in greed for the crypto side of things. We are down 9 points, still sitting in some light greed right now, looking for a little bit of some continued sell-off for the morning. We'll kind of hop into that when we get over to that Bitcoin chart. we do have quite a bit of liquidity residing to the bottom side here on this daily, looking at 91 to about 91 300. So a little bit of a range. We already have swept some of that to the bottom side. That was sitting up at about 91 900 all the way down to 91 700. So leaving some of that open to come back and grab. We do have some liquidity to the top side as well, sitting at 94 372, ranging all the way up to 94 500. Let's zoom this on out. Take a look at that 3-day. We are looking quite bare there. We do have a very light hotspot sitting down here at 87 651. Zoom that on out just a little bit further. Take a look at that 1 week, and most of the liquidity starting to pile up to the downside. We do have some at 86 300, and we've got some at 83 700 as well. Take a look at that 2 week, and that 2 week also looks quite similar with some downside liquidity. It is a little bit further down at 82 900. So zooming that on out, take a look at that 3 month, and we do have some liquidity to the top side at about 100,000. Would have to zoom that out a little bit further. Take a look at the 6 month, and that's where you really see that most of the liquidity is to the bottom side, down at the lows of 74. So looking like we have the potential to grab that top side liquidity at 100,000, and then most of that liquidity is going to be to the bottom side. Let's take a look at the Bitcoin chart and say good morning to the people. Now, we did have that economic calendar with a few heavy data points coming out this morning. We've got durable goods orders month over month looking to be a bit of a decrease or increase on that. Like Piper had said yesterday, though, a lot of that was in preparation for some of the tariffs, front running some of the manufacturing practices we would need to see in the United States. Looking at a 0.9 to a 2% increase. We're looking at the durable goods, excluding transport, month over month, looking like a slowdown there. So definitely something to keep into account for the morning. We are looking at a bit of an increase on our initial jobless claims as well. So a lot of mixed data for the morning could kind of send things in both directions. We do have existing home sales month over month as well, looking like a massive decrease on that from 4.2% and forecasted to be negative 3%. So quite a slow up on the housing data. Scrolling down a little bit, we do have a few Fed chairs speaking as well. So some to keep your eye on. The big market mover for that Asia time frame going to be that Tokyo Core CPI. So another thing to watch out for at 7:30 Eastern time. Let's hop over to the Bitcoin chart and say good morning to the people. I see Jesse Gluck in the chat first saying good morning. We've got Kelliphant in the chat saying morning. She says, I'm still up. It's 1:44 a.m. And Jesse says to get some sleep. And I thought that was quite ironic since there's a hashtag Jesse needs sleep that goes around. Let's see. We got Jeffrey Stone Cipher in the chat. Good morning to you, and Crypto Billy in here as well. Good morning to you, sir. Hope you're having a great morning so far. Let's hop into this Bitcoin chart. We are seeing a little bit of a curvature here on the morning. We've got that prime oscillator looking a little sideways here with that money flow looking to try to come back into the green. If it is unable to do that, look at some continued rollover. We do have very nice green volume here, but MACD also getting that first bit of curvature here with some bad data this morning that could really solidify this daily coming down. So something to keep your eye on is going to be that about an hour money flow to see if it bleeds back over into our higher term time frames. We have been looking at some key levels to the top side, and we'll kind of have to see if we can get above that. We do have that 94, 375 being an area where we saw these very equal candle bodies. That's kind of where we rejected from the other day, and we'll kind of have to see if we can make another pushback above that and see if we can get up to the 382. We do have a very green, wrong chart there. Don't know how I switched to Ethereum. Let's get it back over to Bitcoin. All right, we've got that 4 hour with some very nice green money flow, but it is rolling over just a bit here. Made a very equal high on this prime oscillator before it really started to roll over, with your true 7 sitting in the red and your prime oscillator immediately switching from green to red as it tries to cool down just a little bit. Your volume is rolling over as well here, so a slowdown of volume, a slowdown of money flow might be looking at a little bit of some downside. Not unexpected after, let's get the measured move there from the lows to the high, about a 12% increase. About a 12% increase. Looking for a little bit of some cooling down would definitely be expected. Let's hop into that 1 hour, see what we're looking at for the daily. We are getting a little bit of some curvature back to the upside here on the daily, and this is where I talked about wanting to see our 1 hour money flow really start to bleed over into our higher term time frames. That 1 hour money flow is sitting green still, looking for a little bit of some curvature back to the upside as it tries to maintain the zero line there. We do have our reversal signal coming in, and that prime oscillator getting that curvature back to the upside. Sitting light red though, so it's really going to depend on money flow, especially since your volume has massively decreased here. Looking like if the bears step in and that money flow goes red, it could really drop things back down. We do have a bit of a median here at about 88,777. So let's just say 88.8 there that we could potentially see some bouncing at. I would look at trying to hold 90.8 at 90,800 as some support here would be a very key level to hold. We saw a lot of bouncing on it back here at the beginning of our range. This is an area I would kind of look to hold. We've also rejected off of it very hard back here. We did make some brief moves above it before we really saw that downside action though. So turning that into some support would be a nice area to hold. But with how that daily is starting to roll over, if we don't get that positive money flow from our shorter term time frames to come back into these higher term time frames, would look for a decent cool down, and that mid-range comes in at about 88,800. Let's take a look at the 15-minute and see what the morning might be bringing our way. If anyone has any alt requests for me, go ahead, drop those in the chat. I just have the one news article. I was going to take a look at gold today and the Dixie, because the Dixie has been seeing a little bit of relief. But other than that, I've got plenty of time for some alt requests. We do have this 15-minute getting a little bit of a push back towards the upside. Would want to take out some of the highs from back here at about 92,800 and continue to the upside. We do have a bit of some resistance in this zone, as we did see some bouncing to the top side off of it. And when we made that push back up, didn't really see too much positive money flow coming in. That's where money flow really started rolling over there on the 15-minute. So looking like that 92 92,800 to about 92,900 is going to be a bit of a resistance area. We do have your MACD getting that crossover of our indicator line sitting on the bottom side, but it is doing it with some light curvature here. So would need to see this money flow really coming back in as some positive buying pressure. We do see the 15-minute getting that little push off of the bottom side with a divergence stacked up. Your money flow is sitting very red here, but your volume's starting to increase. So looking like we're going to do a little battle here at that 92,800 range for the morning and see if we can turn that back into some support to get up to about $95,000 or reject to the downside and turn some of that 90,800 into some support. We'll kind of have to see how money flow goes for the morning. That is going to be very crucial on either a continuation or a quick move to the downside. I see ADA on that list. Of course, Jesse wants some ADA. We've got that added for you. Any other alt requests? We've got Tau. Can definitely take a look at that. That one ripped quite nicely. All right. Let's hop into this news article I had pulled up. You might be blinded just a little bit because there was no dark mode on it. So Cantor Fitzgerald, Tether, and SoftBank launch $3.6 billion Bitcoin investment firm. 21 Capital, a new company formed by Cantor Fitzgerald, Tether Holdings SA, and SoftBank Group, is about to become the largest public holders of Bitcoin. Reuters report said the entity will launch with over 42,000 Bitcoin, valued at $3.6 billion, positioning it as the third largest corporate Bitcoin holder globally. Stablecoin issuer Tether will contribute $1.6 billion in Bitcoin, with its affiliated exchange Bitfinex kicking in $600 million, and Japanese technology investor SoftBank adding $900 million, the report said. A statement from the company Wednesday said 21 Capital will be a majority owned by Tether and Bitfinex, with SoftBank holding a minority stake. Strike CEO Jack Mallers will lead the company as co-founder and CEO, according to reports. We're not here to beat the market, we're here to build a new one, a public stock built by Bitcoiners for Bitcoiners, Mahler said in the statement. The investment vehicle was reportedly inspired by the success of Bitcoin acquirer strategy, formerly known as a MicroStrategy. Bloomberg reports that Strategy has amassed about $45 billion worth of Bitcoin. According to Reuters, Bitcoin is trading at 94,100, gaining more than 40% in the past 6 months. So, we will see this more and more often. Companies trying to follow that strategy, that sailor strategy of buying Bitcoin, leveraging Bitcoin to buy more Bitcoin. Hopefully they do it with a little more finesse and TA on their side, because Michael Saylor's infamous for buying tops. So that kind of doesn't bode very well if you're trying to leverage your Bitcoin to buy more Bitcoin, but you bought the tops. Sitting at some downside action right after that, really dragging down that investment. So we'll see if they do it with a little more intelligence. I see Darren Does Things in here. Good morning, good morning. We got Mark Dutch in the chat as well. Good morning to you, sir. And maybe a Band-Aid. Hope you are having a great morning so far. I also got JR in the chats. All right. Good morning to you, sir. Hope you've been getting some sleep and feeling better. I know you've been a little under the weather with some foot problems. So hope you've been feeling better. We got Swee requested as well, so I can definitely take a look at that one. We've got gold getting that pullback I had talked about the other day. Got that nice 382 bounce, 236 bounce on our fib extensions. Let's pull this on up to the hourly there and see what we might be looking at for the day on gold. You do see some continued red money flow here, looking like you might need to see a little more of a cool down. So some sideways movement here as we see this golden pocket coming in as some resistance might be the move to watch for, seeing us potentially close the CME gap that's below us at about $3,306, ranging all the way towards that 382 at 3,295. Looking for that to close and then potentially make that move back up. You do have the prime oscillator sitting with some curvature here. It is green as that volume is starting to increase, but that money flow is continued outflow. So looking for a potential switch of some money flow here as we get back down and close out that CME gap. You also have that MACD getting that same curvature here as we're printing lighter and smaller green candles here on our histogram. Looking for a potential cool off as we close out that CME gap and then push back up. Would depend a little bit on some news here. So look to see what kind of data drops we get for the morning that might send people either towards gold or away from gold, depending on that risk on sentiment. Durable goods orders being a little bit positive might not actually be a positive, especially since a lot of that was because of tariffs. And then we saw a lot of those tariffs get nixed. And then the only ones are with China, which was also said yesterday is going to be sticking around. So another little driver into gold would be nice to close out that CME gap though at the 382 and then continue on to the upside with a little bit of some sideways movement to cool off that oscillator. We did see the Dixie making that push back up towards the golden pocket that I had talked about. Looking like you're going to see some continued rollover though, especially with the news that the China tariffs are going to be staying in effect. Well, Jerome Powell is going to be left alone there. You've got your prime oscillator getting some curvature. The True 7 clipped out, maintaining that very bottom side of our prime oscillator though. Your volume is extremely red here, and your MACD looks like it's getting more curvature as we maintain under that indicator line. Printing some light red candles here on the histogram, but looking like you might start printing some bigger red candles here on the histogram with how the shorter term time frame is looking there. Here's this hourly looking towards the bottom side, but you're not really seeing any reversal signals starting to flash, no oversold signals starting to flash. Looking at that golden pocket to be lost all over again as your MACD is pointed quite heavily towards the downside and printing very, very big red candles on the histogram. You are sitting below that indicator line and approaching the zero line with some strength. So looking for that to kind of break and really drag back down here. You have a potential bouncing area for the dollar at about 98.60. So that'd be a little zone I would watch for the day. Potential to see that push back up towards our golden pocket and then really lose that all over again. Let's make that a little bit thinner so you know. We still do have 97.72 being an area to watch for. We came within cents of it. It's an area from back at the beginning of the range that we haven't been at in over 2 years. So definitely looking for this to be a potential short-term bouncing area before we really start losing. We have a lot of negative space until we get back down towards this platinum pocket area, because we really moved through this entire area with some quickness when we got to the golden pocket. So Looking for the Dixie to continue to lose some momentum. All right, we've got Cadena had a nice move up. Could see a juicy scalp short coming. I'm not sure what the ticker on that is, but I will get that added. I will try to take a look at it. There we go, Cadena. All right. We'll see if we see anything else. We got K Diggity in the house. Good morning to you, sir. Let's see. We got Wayne C in here as well. Good morning to you. And looks like that's about it. We've got a few lurkers though. So good morning to all you lurkers. Hope you're having a great day. KDA. All right, I can get that on there better. There we go, KDA. So we've got a few alt requests. Let's dive on into those. We had Ada requested as always. Let me get over to my alt page there. There we go. We got Ada requested. So let's scroll on down. Take a look at Ada. Ada did get that nice move up towards our golden pocket, and maintained 67 cents as a support area. We have talked about that for quite a while on ADA, and that is a nice thing to see. This hourly does look like it's getting that curvature back towards the upside, but let's take a look at that daily, see what we're looking at there. The daily looking like it's got more room to run towards the upside. Getting some slight curvature here, but nothing like the curvature we were seeing on Bitcoin. This MACD line is making more width from that indicator line as we print larger green candles here on the histogram, looking like we already got the cool off we needed there, turning that key area back into some support here as we finally got toward above it. And you're seeing some nice green volume here as your True 7 has just switched back to green here, and your prime oscillator is continuing to the upside. It is doing so with some slight sideways movement. So looking to see if this golden pocket and 70 cents is going to be a resistance area. We did get above it quite fiercely and then saw some sell off. So looking like we might see that be a bit of a resistance area. Looking at that 4 hour, we are trying to maintain the top side of our indicator line here on our MACD. Looking like we're getting some slight curvature here. Your prime oscillator looking like it's moving a little sideways. True 7 just waiting for a clip out as we have a very solid green volume here. So looking to at least to maintain that 67 cent range on ADA. We do have this golden pocket, like I talked about, being some very strong resistance. So seeing us range in a new area would be something to kind of watch out for accumulation and then really pop in either direction. See if we can get back up to 76 cents, which is going to be our next real key battle zone for ADA there. We did see a lot of sell pressure in this price point. Let's zoom on in, take a look at the hourly, because that's kind of where we started. We are seeing that curvature back towards the upside. Morning looking like it's going to get a little bit of a boost there. Your volume has slowed down quite a bit though. So looking to see if this True 7 will clip out one more time and really push us back up there as your volume has really slowed up. See if we get another little touch on 67 cents as we're approaching a little bit of a resistance area on the short-term time frame. Let me get a horizontal ray drawn out as a skinny one. We're seeing some resistance coming in at about 68 cents here. We saw selling pressure step in all over again. Let me get that drawn out a little bit better so it tops out on that. There we go. 68.9 is going to be that area we would kind of watch for as some short-term resistance. Let's zoom that on. See what the 15-minute is bringing our way and see if that's going to be a bit of a resistance area. Does look like it might be a little bit of a resistance area. see a little bit more of some cool down on the oscillator. The 15-minute is seeing some nice green volume here, but looking a little bit toppy here on the prime oscillator. Your MACD does still have plenty of room to run, but you are seeing that selling pressure already stepping in for the morning, as you did see that nice wicking off of the 50 moving average there, and printing our first, starting to print a red candle here. So looking for a potential cool off and continuation towards the upside. We do have a bit of a bouncing area towards the downside there, about 60, the bottom side of 68 cents. We'll kind of have to see if we can get back above this area or if we reject down first. So waiting on that money flow, just like everything else. We have been seeing a lot of red money flow here. We had Tau requested, so let's take a look at Tau. I believe that's down in my favorites. There we go, Tau. I don't think I've taken a look at Tau in quite a while, so let's zoom this on out. Take a look at the daily there. Looks like it got a nice platinum pocket bounce. Let's continue those lines to the right there. I don't know why they weren't continued, but I'd just like to always continue those lines to the right, because you never know when they might come back into play. We did get that nice breakout from a resistance area I was looking at. Let's delete that line there. And looking like we held that platinum pocket quite nicely as some support. Really waiting to see if we can hold this golden pocket here. Daily getting a bit of some rollover, just like the rest of the market was. Bitcoin had that nice curvature on the prime oscillator, turning from green to red. MACD getting that curvature as well, but your volumes incredibly green here, like bigger than Bitcoin volume. It's still looking like it's increasing as well, not getting that rollover on the daily that we saw on Bitcoin. Let's zoom this on and see what that 1 hour is looking like here, and it does look like it is trying to maintain that golden pocket. You do have your MACD with quite a bit of width from that indicator line, as we're printing very red candles here. You are seeing a little bit of some sideways momentum here on your prime oscillator, but that True 7 still pointing to the downside and is not clipped out, as your volume is slowing down here on the hourly. So seeing if we can potentially hold this golden pocket as some support. That's $328, and seeing if we can get that bounce back up. You do have very heavy resistance towards the top side at about 350, so some to keep your eye on for the morning. We are making a little bit of a zone here. This could be either an accumulation zone or a sell-off zone, so seeing if we do maintain this golden pocket would be a nice thing to watch for, and a pop up towards the upside. We do see the prime oscillator getting to that point where we could start seeing some oversold signals and some reversal signals start flashing. Your 15-minute does look like you do have that potential to lose the golden pocket, though. We have seen the True 7 clip out twice here, which are prime oscillator is getting that curvature back towards the downside, doing it with some light red though, so waiting for some money flow to really come in quite nicely. You do have some decent support down here at about $309, so you've got a bit of a zone here between 308 and 349, with your golden pocket being the median. Something to kind of keep your eye on will be if we lose that golden pocket with some very red outflows. Would definitely look for that 308 to come back into play. If we see that golden pocket lost with some decent money flow, then we might see some nice wicking action and pulling back up, as we've seen over here and over here. So this golden pocket is going to be a bit of a median for this range. Let's take a look at SWE. We had SWE next on the list, and then KDA. We've got Curtis Core saying Caspa, please. If I have time, I will definitely take a look at Caspa. We've got Melissa in the chat. Good morning to you. Hope you're having a great morning. It's been a little while since I've seen you here in the chats. We did see SWE getting up towards our green box here. Did a little bit of some playing in the zone before we got that push back above our golden pocket. Didn't get up to the resistance line we'd been looking for at 317 before we saw that very strong sell off and a drop back in towards our little bit of a buying area. This was something we had been watching for. Let's zoom this on out, take a look at the 1 hour, see what the daily might be bringing our way here. And the daily looking like it's got some curvature on our MACD here. We're getting that curvature back towards the upside just a bit as we're starting to print some light red candles on the histogram. Looking like that prime oscillator has several divergences stacked up as your volume's starting to slow down a bit. So if we do end up getting that rejection off of our golden pocket all over again, dropping back down, looking to see if we can maintain $2.90 would be something to kind of watch for. This golden pocket does look like it is very heavy resistance, and we really faltered to get up towards our next little area and be able to turn this into a new range here. I was not expecting this crazy move on SWE, but it blasted through all of our areas and kind of leaving those open for a retest. You have $2.78 being an area to kind of watch for if we are unable to maintain this golden pocket area and our green buy-in zone. This was all from back here where we saw some very nice wick in action and some bouncing on. Let's zoom it on in, see what the 15-minute and the morning will be bringing our way. We do have some nice curvature here on your MACD, looking to potentially cross back towards the upside of our 0 line and our indicator line that is also starting to get some light curvature there. Your prime oscillator doing some waffling around as heavy red, light red, heavy red, but it is getting that curvature back towards the upside there, looking like you could potentially see that golden pocket coming in as some resistance with how red this volume is. So looking like people are starting to take some profits on some SWE. That doesn't mean it doesn't have the potential for a continued upside move and to pop towards the upside. Let's hide that green box for the short term. We got that. Let's hide it and see what that next range might be. If we can get above that that golden pocket I've been talking, we've got that nice little area between 317 and 333 with our golden pocket kind of being the bottom. So we would need to get back above our golden pocket here, turn this into some strong support, and then see if we can shoot back up to 317 and then see what we're looking like at 333. If not, this golden pocket gets lost. We do have some decent support towards the downside at about that $2.78. We would kind of look at this being the new range for now. All right, we had KDA requested, so I've never taken a look at that. Let's see what we're looking at. KDA, we'll take a look at it on Binance. And it got a nice little rip towards the upside as well. Let's see what the daily's looking like there. So we can, oh God. It got a nice rip towards the upside, but it's nothing special. We are sitting at some lows from before we really got that strong move towards the upside there. Yeah, definitely could potentially see some cool off there. You did have a peak seeker coming in here. Let's try to get some levels here. Would need to get that from the lows here towards the highs here. It is making lower highs on the macro as well, making some slightly lower lows. We'll kind of have to see if we can get back up towards that platinum pocket on it. It did get a nice higher high, higher low there, and got that strong bounce, but really saw that resistance coming into play from our last high there. That was 53 cents, and that's where we got that nice rejection also off of that 100 moving average there. So really sitting below a lot of our moving averages, seeing some constriction in our higher term time frames. We really need to see some of the lower term time frames start to cross on those moving averages, but your money flow is still sitting red as you got that strong push up, looking to potentially see if you could see that continuation, but your prime oscillator has that divergence stacked up, and a peak seeker could see a little bit more running. Would really need to get above 53 cents, turn that into some support, and you've got right above that a strong resistance area coming in at 59 cents. So that'd be that next little, if you can get above 53 cents, that next area for resistance would be right very quickly coming in at 59 cents. Let's see what the hour is bringing our way. Looking like it's stalling out a bit at 53 cents. Might get that push back up towards it before you really drop back down. You have a bit of some support coming in below us. Looking like 45 cents is going to be a zone to watch for. 45. Looking like we got several touches off of that area. Got some nice bouncing action off of that. So next level to really watch for the bottom side. We do have that 15-minute also looking like it's continuing to the downside. Very green money flow here, but your volume has slowed down quite a bit. Looking like some green volume for now, and your True 7 just switched back to the red. So looking like you might get that last push up towards 53 cents and try to get back above it before you really drag back down with how that higher term time frame was looking. It is 5:29 my time, and about time to wind down the show. I'm sorry I didn't get to take a look at Caspa, but I'll start the show. I will start the alt request off with that tomorrow. So hope to see y'all at the rest of the Piper Academy shows. We've got that morning market report at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Watch out for the data drops that we will be seeing in between now and then. We got several data drops coming out. We've got trading with OC at 8 p.m. Eastern time, and that's another great place to learn how to do some TA. If you haven't been watching that one, that is a crucial show to watch for. We got Markets After Dark with Lunar Beaches Crypto at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Another great show to watch here on the Piper Academy. I will see y'all at the morning motivational video here in just a second. I will be redirecting, like always, right over there. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure to wake up because today's going to be a good day.